Well, hello. Oh, my phone's going to die, so I'm having to charge it. So fingers crossed that we don't cut out in the middle. Hello. Welcome to Tea with Fee, live at 5. I'm Fee. This is Make It So HQ. Grab yourself a drink or something and we're going to have a little chat and catch up about what's been happening this week. And it's been another busy week at Make It So HQ. It's looking relatively tidy at the minute, actually. I try to keep it tidy most of the time. It has its moments, and I am a little bit like a waiting room for sewing machine services, because I have got one machine to go and get serviced, another overlocker to be returned, and on Tuesday there's going to be another overlocker arriving that's also going to sewing machine services. So we're just kind of like a little waiting room. So if I counted up the number of machines I had in here at the minute, I would be quite surprising, I think. Anyway, enough about that. So it's been another busy week at Make It So HQ. I have been beavering away behind the scenes. You might have seen on Facebook the advent calendar. I know it's only August, but the advent calendar has progressed. So last year I did my first advent calendar, and it was a little bit of an impulse decision. Elaine had said to me, are you doing an advent calendar this year, Fiona? Because if you're not, I'm going to buy one from somebody else. And I was like, ooh, I thought about it ages ago and then forgot about it and thought, why not? Let's do it. So that was last year. And I literally was just like, where do you even start with that? So it was a fairly successful, I think. Everybody got good feedback. Everybody that got one enjoyed it. They particularly like the feedback I've had is everybody liked having something to open every day. So I did a little survey last month or the month before in the newsletter, just saying, if you got, well, for those people that had it last year, did you want the same thing again? Or if you've never had one, what kind of format would you like it to be in? So I got some good feedback off of that. So the general consensus, my thinking was, I didn't want to do the same as last year because I didn't want anybody to open it up one of the days up and go, oh, I got that last year. So I kind of didn't really want to do that, but I also totally get that you want to open something every day. So I thought possibly 4 like mini projects, and it's like you open one a week and you work on that. But then feedback that I had was that you don't necessarily want Christmas themed things in the advent calendar. Yes, it's Christmas, but you don't necessarily want a Christmas themed thing. And last year there was lots of bits and a couple of Christmas themed things, but not many. So I thought, all right, well, that's quite interesting. So I've kind of like done like a full U-turn, and we've now gone for something to open every day. All the things are useful, and there will be, I think, at this stage, don't hold me to this because it could change, but in my head, what I'm thinking is everything can be used collectively to make a thing, okay? I'm not telling you what the thing is, but you could use all of this stuff to make something, and this something will be revealed at some point during the journey. So I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like at the minute. But equally, that's just a guide. Some people like that kind of thing, and other people just like the, oh, look, that's really nice. I'll put that in my box and I'll use it sometime. So it will work for both. Somebody also said to me last year they were going to keep everything and open it all on Christmas Day, which I quite like the idea of, but I actually don't think it happens. So that was quite interesting, I thought. But yeah, everybody really enjoyed opening something every day. So this year, you'll have something to open every day, including Christmas Day, which is unusual, I think, for an advent calendar. So you're going to have something to open every day. The content, I have costed it all. Based on my plan at the minute, it comes to like £90 worth of stuff if you were to buy it all individually. and I am selling it to you for £55. So it's an absolute bargain. And it means that you kind of like get a Christmas present for you that's on a topic that you're interested in, but you don't know what it is. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and I want somebody to make one so that I can get one without knowing what's in it. So if anybody wants to make me one, then let me know, because I'm all over that. So yeah, so I have spent a lot of time this week thinking about Christmas, what to make, researching prices for things. Hi, Lane. So that's been what I've been doing. I've done a lot of admin this week. I've also ordered quite a lot of stuff from the haberdashery place. You might have seen the video, I don't know where I did that, about the bag that had been delivered. I'll show you actually. With the sewing machine in it. So this is it, with the sewing machine in it. And it didn't look like it actually would fit in there when you seen it on the picture, but I can assure you this weighs a ton and there is a sewing machine inside it. Ta-da! So, love this one. And it comes in the beigey colour, and I've sold quite a lot of those actually. And then there was the other drawstring version, which I've not used yet because I'm trying to be really good. Hello, ladies. I'm trying to be really good and just stick to the 3 projects, just the 3 that I've got going on. So I don't really need the drawstring bag for anything because all the projects I'm working on at the minute are already in their own little bags. So my dilemma for tomorrow, Social Saturday tomorrow, if anybody is not coming that would like to come, let me know. 9 till 12:30 down at the church, £15. Bring your sewing machine and whatever you're working on, and you might chip away at some of the things that are on your to-do list. But anyway, I need to decide what I'm taking with me tomorrow. So I can continue with my quilt, which is hand sewing, or I could continue with the cross stitch, which again is also hand sewing, or I can work on the dress. So the last Social Saturday I cut out all the pieces for the dress. Since then, bearing in mind it's a month ago, well, it might not be exactly a month ago, let's just check. The last one was 29th, 2 weeks ago. So it's not as bad as I thought. 2 weeks ago, all I have managed to do is attach the yoke to the back. So that's it. That's all I've done. So I'm either taking this with me or one of the other 2. What would you do? Would you take the cross stitch, the quilt, or the dress? Answers on a postcard. Don't say option 4 doesn't exist, which is go and start something else. Anyway, so I'm debating what to bring. The reason I'm reluctant to do the dress is because it means I need to take my new sewing machine down to the church. I don't have a carry bag for it, so I have to carry it by just the handle on the sewing machine. Excuse me. And the distance from the house to the car, and then the car to the church, I'm just a bit worried. It's an expensive sewing machine that it might get damaged, and it weighs a ton. And if I had a carry bag for it or a roller trolley bag, it would be fine, which I am considering buying one, but I haven't got one yet. So the alternative to that is to take the Elna. But as you know, if you have been watching, as you know, when I used the Elna and the Bernina together on the quilt projects, we had a bit of a situation, partly of my own making, because I didn't really realise the Elna was as versatile as it actually is. So my seam allowance was bigger on the Elna than it was on the Bernina because I didn't realise that I could make it smaller. But anyway, so I have learned that lesson now, but I just feel like maybe I should just stick to one machine for the full project from start to finish. And I have done that with this so far. So I really am in a bit of a quandary. So the general consensus is do the dress, but that involves having to take this sewing machine with me. Watch this space. I'll let you know tomorrow what I decide. Sewing this week has been fabulous. We have had so many things happen this week in sewing. Tuesday, so Joyce is on Monday. We are progressing, I don't have them here, on her bear quilt. I'll send some pictures. It's looking fabulous. Then on Tuesday, I had Kaz, Christine and Laura. Kaz, I know, Julie, but I kind of really want to do the dress. And Jackie, I know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, Tuesday, Kaz was working on this month's box pattern. And Laura is working on last month's box pattern, which is the patchwork basket. And Christine started on the bucket bag. Let me show you that. So Christine was making one of these, and I've just realised, proud mum moment, all 3 projects that we're getting worked on Tuesday are actually my patterns. How cool is that? So yeah, so Christine was making one of these. Kaz is making this month's box pattern, and Laura's working on last month's box pattern. And then Wednesday, I was at Joyce's again. And then Thursday morning, we had Alwyn, Charlotte and Nikki. Nikki graduated yesterday. So well done, Nikki, for graduating yesterday. She has completed all the things in the Sew Like a Pro workshop course. I can't think what to call it. I always get stuck when I discuss it. Anyway, I need to think about that. Anyway, she has done all the items that are on the Sew Like a Pro program, and graduated yesterday. So that was a fabulous achievement, and she had all the things that she's made as part of the program, and I took a picture of them, and that will go on Facebook in the next couple of days, possibly next week. You might have seen on Facebook earlier this week that I put up a picture of Christine's makes. So she finished all her makes this week as well, so she graduated too. So I put hers up on Facebook yesterday or the day before, I think it was. So yeah, so we've had 2 graduates this week, so that's been quite exciting. This is a dress. So it's a dress that somebody was given, not realising it, like to cut up to use as fabric, and didn't realise it was a dress, and thought, actually, I have to try it on and see if I like it, and if I don't like it, they will then cut it up and make it into a bag or something. So yeah, that's what it was, Julie. So yeah, so that was, so we've had 2 graduates. Charlotte is making one of the Tilda wash bags, which is looking really nice, and that's a free pattern. And I talk about that quite a lot because I mean, it's a free pattern and it's a really practical thing. I like practical things, and so it's a really practical little bag. I've not got one handy, but I've got something similar so you can kind of get an idea. So it's kind of like this kind of idea, but squarer. So she's making that at the minute, and Alwyn's working on a Christmas table runner. So a lot of progress was made on Thursday. In fact, Charlotte just about finished hers. She was so close to finishing. And Nikki started working on a stormtrooper. She's going to do like an applique stormtrooper. So I'll get some pictures of that because that's going to look fabulous. And we're doing, I think we are doing a bit of an experiment. So it's meant to be foundation paper piecing. Okay, so foundation paper piecing is where you get a pattern which is drawn on a bit of paper, and then you layer the fabric behind the paper and stitch through the paper, and then you fold the fabric over, and you repeat that process until you have the same picture, and then you rip the paper off and it's finished. But when you do those, they normally come and they tell you what order you need to do each of the pieces for it to work. So the image that Nikki is using is an image that she has just printed off, so there's no order to do the items in. So what we're going to do instead for this attempt is we are going to applique them onto a backing fabric and then attach them with zigzag stitch. So that's one suggestion. The other one is to do English paper piecing, which is where you trace all the pieces out individually, cut your bit of your piece with a seam allowance, and you hand sew all the pieces together. So that's the alternative version. So the plan when she left here on Thursday was we were going to do both. That will take a while. Obviously, I don't think that they will be finished by next week. But that's the plan. Now, whether that plan continues as the weeks go on, I don't know. Watch this space, and we will keep you updated. So that was quite interesting, and she's gone for like really bright colours, so I'm quite intrigued to see what that's going to look like when it's finished. And then today, oh no, last night I had Fran. Fran is working on the sewing table runner as well. So I would love, what I might do actually at the end, once Alwyn and Fran have finished theirs, I'm going to get everybody that's made one to bring them in, and we'll get a picture of all of them together so you can just see how versatile it is. So I'm quite excited about that. That's just that little light bulb moment has gone off there. So that's quite exciting, just to see the comparisons there. So Fran was doing that last night, and then this morning we had Vicky, who's on week 3. She's on the reversible bag, and we had to turn it inside out or through the handle. Which I love it when people have to do that, because you just think it's not going to go, and then suddenly it just fixes itself. So yes, so that, I've totally lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about? Yeah, so yes, the turning through of the handle. So that was quite exciting to see it just happen. So that's nearly finished. So hopefully we'll have a finished product from Vicky next week. And then Christine's working on her bags, but she's had a bit of a hold up because some of her haberdashery items haven't arrived. They're stuck somewhere, so she was at a bit of a standstill, so that was a bit frustrating. And Lynn had brought her overlocker, and she was making up little pajama tops for her grandchildren, so they looked really good. And I never get any pictures today, which was really rubbish. So yes, so I'll try and get some better pictures next week. All right, okay, so you want me to do a still picture? Yes, I can do a still picture of Christine's finished things. Yes, I will do that for you. I know you're not a pain. Well, no more than normal, Jilly. Just the normal level of pain, I would suggest. Following Crafternoon Tea on Thursday, Jackie had brought with her these new to me hand sewing needles called Certain Stitch, I think. They are made by Pony, and I think they were called Certain, C-E-R-T-A-I-N Stitch. And they basically got like a little coloured in bit on the needle, and that's like, you use that as a guide so that all your stitches are the same length. And I thought that was a really clever idea, so I have gone and bought some. So if anybody wants a packet, I have bought some. So I'm quite excited about them turning up. And then I was having a little chat with Fran yesterday about sock knitting. So she wants to learn how to knit socks. And if you might have seen earlier in the week, I shared somebody's Instagram page who does sock kits. So I've definitely got that on my Christmas list because they are so nice, these sock kits. With love from Devon, I think. I'll put a link in. Anyway, so Fran says it's on her list of things to do. She wants to knit some socks. So I started looking at sock knitting stuff again. So I possibly accidentally added some more stuff to my basket. So watch this space to see what else I have been buying. But yes, so there's been quite a lot of spending this week, which is quite, I've been quite reserved up to now, so I think it was overdue. So yes, so I'm quite excited about all my purchases that are about to turn up. I've done a couple of Amazon orders as well for various little things because I wanted to try something. So when you buy stuff wholesale, you can't just buy one. So the thing that I want to buy, something that I want to buy for the advent calendar, I want to try it first. So I've ordered one from a shop to see whether it's what I think it is before I then go and buy like them in volume. So I'm quite excited about that turning up. And the stuff for this month's box has arrived, and I am really, really like desperate to share it with everybody, but I can't because the boxes obviously haven't gone out yet. So you're going to have to just wait a little bit longer. I would not have you any other way, Julie. You're quite right. And you were put on this earth to make us all laugh. I'm convinced of it, and you certainly did that on Thursday. With your little jokes. Keep them to yourself though. Anyway, so on that note, I'm gonna call it a day because I have nothing else to share with you, I don't think, other than I still don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I think I'm going to have to take the sewing machine because if I don't know when I'm going to get this dress finished. Oh, actually, I have got one more thing to show you. This expandable sewing gauge. So this is this week's recommendation, right? So the dress that I am currently making has got 10 buttons, I think. 10 buttons. And trying to evenly space them can be a little bit of a headache. Well, I'm hoping that this is going to take that headache out of the equation. So it'll give me evenly spaced buttons. So this one has to be the same. They all need to be the same distance apart just because of how it's made. I haven't used it properly yet, but so far I'm thinking this looks really good. And it's got loads of measurements on it so that you can use them as a guide. And it would also work for pleats. So if you want to put pleats in something, then you could evenly mark distances. And possibly, like, if you were quilting, you could mark your distances using this. So I'm excited to try this. Although, realistically, the chances of me getting anywhere near the buttonholes tomorrow are pretty slim. So we might have to wait till next month's Social Saturday before I get to the buttons. But we'll see how we get on. So I'm going to try... I think I'll try and get some more of my dress made tomorrow. I think that's the best option. And I just need to be really careful with my sewing machine. So what's everybody doing this weekend? Tell me what's on the agenda. If Jackie's still there, Jackie, are you going to watch football at the weekend? Julie, what are you doing at the weekend? Normally we can't shut you up, Julie, and now you've gone. Anyway, you know I love you. Sorry. Right, okay, I'm going. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. I will see you next Friday on Tea with Fee, or I'll see you in person sometime between now and then. Have a great weekend. Do something fabulous. Oh, it's the agricultural show that was on today, wasn't it? Ooh. I've got Social Saturday tomorrow. By the time that's finished, they'll probably all be packing up at the agricultural show. So I might have to miss it this year. Anyway, whatever you do, have a fabulous time. And I will speak to you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.